OffSec, the company behind the renowned OSCP certification, recently launched their TH-200 course, which is their foundational threat hunting course, covering a range of techniques and methodologies to proactively detect and hunt threat actors in enterprise environments. Within this course, learners will gain hands-on experience with widely used threat hunting tools including Crowdstrike Falcon and of course Splunk. And in this video, I'll be breaking down every single thing you need to know about this course, whether you're a cybersecurity analyst or SOC analyst or threat hunter or on the offensive side, or even someone who has zero experience and wants to learn more about how threat hunting is done. Now, full disclosure, this video is sponsored by OffSec and they were kind enough to give me access to this course. So I've actually experienced taking this course and going through all of its content, and I can tell you that this course, for what it offers, is top tier. Before we get further into the video, if you're new here, my name is Day and I'm a cybersecurity engineer at Amazon. I've been in the cybersecurity industry for about 5 years now, and my experience spans across various domains including detection engineering, cloud security, incident response, and of course, threat hunting. If you're looking to stay up to date on the cybersecurity industry with everything technical and career oriented, then be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, check out the links below for resources including our Discord community and newsletter. Now, let's get into more details about OffSec's TH-200 course. The TH-200 is divided into 6 sections with an additional section dedicated to challenge labs, making 7. The first one is threat hunting concepts and practices, which breaks down the basics of threat hunting and why we threat hunt in cybersecurity. This module teaches you how threat hunting aims to surface undetected threats while also reducing the amount of time a threat actor spends in a network, also known as dwell time. You see, according to Mandiant's M-Trends 2023 and 2024 reports, the global median dwell time, which is the duration that an attacker remains undetected in a company's network, dropped significantly. In 2023, the average global dwell time was 10 days, which is quite some time, but still a substantial improvement from 16 days in the previous year, and continues a downward trend over several years. Now, this reduction indicates that organizations are getting faster at detecting and hunting for threat actors, which is great and also highlights the need for threat hunting skills. However, despite this overall reduction, we still see nation-state groups maintaining persistence in networks for extended periods of time, sometimes even years, especially for espionage campaigns. So, even though the average dwell time is decreasing, the threat landscape remains complex with various levels of threat actor sophistication, and this makes having strong threat hunting skill sets even more important. If you like, you can explore more details in the Mandiant M-Trends 2023 and 2024 reports linked in the description or thread below for further reading on this. The first module also goes into how threat hunting teams work with other teams, including threat intelligence, incident response, and even offensive security. It also goes into frameworks, models, services, and tools that may help with starting, building, or maturing an existing threat hunting capability in your organization. Finally, it covers various threat hunting methodologies and investigation types. And quite frankly, this first module alone is a treasure trove. And I'm smiling saying that because I genuinely think that it would take you from no knowledge of threat hunting to truly understanding the need and strategy for it. Now, the second module builds on that by giving you an overview of different types of threat actors with an emphasis on ransomware actors and advanced persistent threats or APTs. Everything from their motives, objectives, and even specific scenarios of these kind of actors, especially the high-profile ones and their MOs. This module was particularly engaging as it presented real-world examples of attacks carried out by threat actors, detailing their methods, which, as a defender or aspiring threat hunter, this knowledge proves invaluable. It enables you to better understand the specific threats your organization might face, allowing you to identify and properly prioritize threat hunts that will have the most significant impact on your organization. Then, the third module delves into the intricacies of how threat hunters acquire, interpret, and utilize threat intelligence in their day-to-day operations. It also provides a comprehensive overview of creating detailed threat reports, crucial for communicating findings and recommendations to stakeholders. Think about this. What use is a threat hunt if you can't communicate to the business various things like the scope, indicators, TTPs, detection signatures, how long it took, the impact of the findings, or what the impact could have been if the threat wasn't found during the hunt. Additionally, this module introduces learners to the Traffic Light Protocol, TLP, a vital framework for sharing sensitive information in the cybersecurity community. So for those who don't know, the TLP system with its color-coded classification levels helps ensure that threat intelligence is disseminated appropriately and securely amongst the relevant parties, whilst also balancing the need for information sharing with the necessity of protecting sensitive data sources and methods. The fourth section is where things start to get more tactical and into the specifics of how to hunt. And this one is about hunting with network data. This module starts by breaking down what network indicators are and why they matter for threat hunting, and then goes into different aspects of threat hunting in networks and various things to consider. Then it goes into practical methods of finding signs of compromise in networks, including ways of identifying harmful IP addresses, domains, network signatures, and unusual network behaviors. And then finally, this section puts your knowledge into action with multiple lab-based hands-on exercises that are derived from real-world scenarios and help you drill those network threat hunting skills by putting you in a situation where you utilize tools like Splunk, Alien Vault Open Threat Exchange or OTX, Wireshark, and NetWitness to complete this investigation. This will leave you with network threat hunting skills that you can confidently boast about, because you'll be initially identifying IoCs within raw packet data, then reconstructing the malware's complete initial vector and correlating that with the original IoCs. Then the fifth module proceeds along the same lines, but this time with endpoint threat hunting. It starts by discussing the importance of endpoints within a threat hunt, as well as the various sources of related endpoint data. It then covers several considerations that can improve the effectiveness of threat hunting on endpoint systems. After this, you're tasked with conducting a threat hunt on endpoint systems to investigate a ransomware incident. This lab scenario allows you to explore various hypotheses to highlight the importance of using different endpoint IoCs within Splunk. And throughout this endpoint investigation, you're actually analyzing the activities of a contemporary real-world ransomware threat actor. Next, you have the sixth module, which builds on the foundation of the previous modules that had practical threat hunts using endpoint and network IoCs and searching for ransomware and file artifacts to identify IoCs and behavioral artifacts, but with one caveat. It goes over threat hunting without the IoCs. Now, this is really cool because when you think about intelligence-based threat hunting, it effectively identifies threats by using systematic searches for IoCs such as file hashes and IP addresses. And there's nothing wrong with this. However, not all IoCs, especially the behavioral ones, offer a clear-cut evidence without further context. So, being aware of this, sophisticated threat actors often modify their methods to avoid leaving behind recognizable IoCs, and this poses a significant challenge when you're using intelligence-based threat hunting. And this is something that is actually very clearly represented in the pyramid of pain, which I'll be making a video about in the future. So in the situations where IoCs are non-existent, threat hunting then becomes more complex. And then the inexperienced threat hunting teams or threat hunter might try to default to familiar attack techniques in their efforts to track down sophisticated adversaries that might not fit that. However, in contrast, a more seasoned threat hunter or a more seasoned threat hunting team will use more nuanced strategies like custom threat hunting. And this approach will not need to depend on IoCs, but instead, it will emphasize using innovative methods to detect modern and advanced attackers, especially in the evolving landscape of cyber threats. And the absolute coolest thing about this section is the lab allows you to actually use Crowdstrike Falcon. Now, dare I say, and don't quote me on this because I might be wrong, but this is the first security operations course that I've seen that actually gives you hands-on experience with Crowdstrike, which is the absolute best EDR out there, being used by a majority of largest companies in the world. And this alone, to me, is a major selling point. And with this, you're actually getting to use various cool features of Crowdstrike the same way a cybersecurity analyst or threat hunter would. You're basically working backwards from an alert and using the alert indicators for threat hunting. And this section delves into the various capabilities of the Crowdstrike Falcon EDR solution, focusing on utilizing the RTR or real-time response console and conducting search queries within the endpoint event data. Honestly, this portion is invaluable and one you may not get in any other course, at least that I know of. Finally, the last section is the challenge labs. And this brings everything you've learned together and allows you to practice your newfound skills in direct preparation for the OSTH exam, which are given about 8 hours. And all of this you can access as part of OffSec's Learn One subscription. OffSec's Learn One subscription is the comprehensive annual package that takes learners from start to finish, offering access to 1 core course, prerequisites with learning paths, fundamental content, and 2 exam attempts. Thankfully, OffSec is offering 20% off for a limited time. So if you're looking to take this course, now might be a great time to get it at an amazing discount. Be sure to use the link on the screen or in the description below for that discount. I should also mention that one of the prerequisites that is covered within this subscription is OffSec's Security Operations Essentials, which covers topics like the self-management process, enterprise architecture, Windows login, Linux basics and network services, and even Python scripting. So, after going through all of this, you might be asking, is it worth it? The answer is absolutely. This course covers all the strategic and tactical aspects of threat hunting, shows you how to do it, and exposes you to various tools including Splunk and Crowdstrike, amongst many others. Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. And all of these things you can add as labs and projects for your resume, but even better, you can use the lab scenarios and what you learn as talking points in job interviews in a way that sets you apart from other candidates. Also, OffSec is pretty popular in the cybersecurity industry and is known by HR, so that's a cherry on top. A huge shout out to OffSec for the work that they did on this. Thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in adjacent cybersecurity careers like threat detection and incident response, then check out this video where I break down everything you need to know about moving between these 2 domains. Otherwise, if you'd like to see a real-world example of how threat hunting works, then check out this video where I use Splunk to investigate an attacker attempting to bypass Microsoft Defender on a compromised Windows machine.